Hello and good afternoon, family, friends, faculty, and my fellow graduates. Let me first thank Antioch for giving me this great honor of allowing me to stand before all of you and speak to my personal and shared experiences. As most of my fellow graduates know, Fred, Cynthia, and Richard are the blood, sweat, and tears of this program. We thank you for being compassionate, passionate, and encouraging through this trying process of attaining our higher educational goals. It is the example of educators like yourselves that keeps us all moving forward and remembering why it is we have chosen to become educators ourselves. It is this very passion that drew me to Antioch and led me down a path that I never knew I would pursue. From the moment I walked into my first class, I knew I had chosen the right place to not only further my own education, but to hone my passion for teaching and children. I guess I've always known that I would become an educator. My parents like to tell me how my own teachers would praise me for helping the other students. Truth is, I think I was just bossy. Not a bad trait to have. I would just need some life experience to turn bossy into leader and guide. And as I stepped through these doors at Antioch, the leader in me knew she had found the right home. My peers were all just as passionate as I was, and all of them had a fervor for learning and social justice in our classrooms. In the words that my fellow graduates will appreciate, my most significant change as a graduate student of Antioch was discovering and pursuing special education. Special education was not the path I entered Antioch to follow, but in my first quarter, Kay Ragland taught the special education course, and her own personal passion would forever change my perception of education. I would discover that not only is special education important to me on a personal level, but that it is the evolution and inevitable path for the future of education. Growing up with a mother who was unidentified dyslexic, I observed firsthand how this affected her view of educators and education. Imagine being given a code to read and no code key to decipher. This is what dyslexia can be like. And instead of her teachers trying to understand her troubles in school, she was humiliated, called dumb, lazy, and ridiculed for not being able to do the so-called simplest of tasks. She would be held back a grade and would forever carry the stigma of not capable. It pains me to this day that a woman whom I so admire will say things like, "I can't," or "I'm not smart enough." How could a woman who raised 3 children and got them all to higher education feel so incapable? The fact is, she is capable and can learn, just not the same way a typical student does. But that is the power and impact a teacher can have on a student. It is one of the very reasons I decided to pursue special education. I now knew, no matter what a child's challenge, they are capable. I believe that Antioch has given me the tools to see how each of our students is unique, just as we as adults are unique. We all perceive in our own individual way, bringing in our own life experience. No student is any different. Antioch has strived to expose their future educators to truly understand and be aware that every student is a product of their environment, and each environment is uniquely its own. And to me, that is what special education resounded. These students aren't disadvantaged or challenged. They just have a unique perspective of the world that I have never been exposed to, but I am open and willing to learn from them. And so I challenge my fellow cohort to go forward with this understanding, to be open and willing to see the world through the thrilling and unique way only a child does. I know we haven't chosen a path that is the most lucrative, but I believe it is the most rewarding and will keep us forever students, learning, growing, and don't forget playing. Thank you very much.